World Environment Day 2021 marks the launch, as we have heard, of the United Nations Decade on Ecosystem Restoration, which aims to reverse the damage we have caused to nature. We must spare no effort to make this decade on ecosystem restoration a success, because we must stabilize the climate, we must protect nature, and we must stem pollution to create a world where the Sustainable Development Goals thrive. Restoring ecosystems is a remarkable solution. It slows climate change. It brings back lost biodiversity. It creates productive land for agriculture. It provides jobs, restores nature's buffers against zoonotic diseases and pandemics, and helps vulnerable communities adapt to the changing climate. But restoration alone won't solve all our problems. We must stop further ecosystem destruction. But how do we do this? By reforming agriculture, by changing how we build our cities, by decarbonizing our economies, and by moving to circular economic models. Restoration as a quick acting solution can buy us time to make these larger transformations. And that is why the Decade for Ecosystem Restoration aims to prevent, to halt, and to reverse the loss of ecosystems. Momentum is growing. We now have commitments to restore 1 billion hectares of land, about half of all that is degraded. And Pakistan is showing us the way. The Prime Minister recently planted the 1 billionth tree of the 10 billion tree tsunami. Bravo to all. I'm also very encouraged by a new and innovative program to swap debt for commitments to achieve conservation targets. And laudable is also the decision to halt the approval of new coal power plants and to pivot to renewables. As climate change is a key driver of desertification and ecosystem degradation, such a move is great news for nature. The task now for Pakistan and for all nations is to build on this momentum and deliver on all our commitments. But how do we get there? Well, allow me to put 4 points that should be on our priority list. First, we need to get the finance flowing. To meet the climate, biodiversity, and land degradation targets, financial flows to nature-based solutions must triple by 2030 and increase fourfold by 2050. So governments must allocate funds to restoration in the COVID-19 recovery packages that parliaments across the world are passing right now. Businesses, banks, investors, and insurers must reform their operations and their financial flows to restore the natural world. A key step is to start using the inclusive wealth measure of growth. Such an approach measures natural capital alongside human and produced capital. It allows us to make investment decisions that back sustainable growth and prosperity. For example, UNEP's recent inclusive wealth analysis of Pakistan's economy showed that the afforestation efforts underway are likely to increase natural capital and inclusive wealth. Pakistan's economy is growing in the right direction. Now, my second point is that we must protect those who manage the land in law and in deed. Research shows that lands managed by local communities suffer less degradation. To empower local communities, we must recognize the right to a healthy environment and back it with the full force of the law. And here Pakistan has taken strides with green benches in its Supreme Court and all provincial high courts across the country. And my third point is that it is time to make our cities green havens. As our world urbanizes, we need to make nature a fundamental part of our cities. There's much we can do: backing urban agriculture, expanding green spaces, integrating nature's infrastructure with our built infrastructure, green our gardens and streets. This will deliver enormous benefits to city life, including natural cooling, cleaner air, food security, and healthier people and happier kids. And my fourth point is, it's equally important to restore the blue planet. We have made huge commitments on land restoration, and we salute that. But our marine and coastal ecosystems are also in trouble, and we need to see a massive increase in restoration commitments globally on marine and coastal ecosystems with backing from donors. So friends, excellencies, if we work hard in these 4 areas to get finance flows in tune with nature, to protect those who manage the land, to make our cities green, and to restore the blue planet, we will heal nature. We will slow climate change. We will feed the world. We will protect vulnerable communities. We will reduce pandemic risks. And we will, in essence, make everybody's lives better. Thank you again to Pakistan for your efforts. I encourage Pakistan now to keep delivering on your ambitious commitments. And I encourage all other nations to follow Pakistan's leadership and make this decade a roaring success. Thank you.
Thank you.